I personally believe we are now in a dual labor economy. And I think in the dual labor economy is like in office and remote. And by remote, I mean like any variation of remote. And I think there's this huge pissing match right now between does remote work or not. And I think companies would be much better off leaning in. Like if you're in office, quit trying to convince remote employees that in office is the way or that that's like the right answer, and vice versa. Like if you're remote, quit trying to convince, because there are a lot of Gen Zers who are like, you know what? We've been, we lived through COVID. Like we want to get out. We want to meet people. We want to be in the office. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like just because we all have different preferences. We talked about it on this pod already. And so my view is like, those are like the two prevailing like labor models right now. Choose one, quit, exit the pissing match and just lean in, and really everything you do should be dialed in. If you're in office, like showcase that, describe like what has come from that, like the great innovation you're doing at Nike or wherever. And if you're not, like, talk about all the amazing things that are going on at your remote company and like all the benefits that you get from that. And I think that's just a missed opportunity. So that's one point. The second one is I believe that we are entering a new phase of, to Daniel's point of how people perceive a job. And I think that increasingly people perceive a job as something that I opt in or opt out of. And because I can opt in or opt out, like, it's more of a subscription to me. Like I'm kind of just here, I'm going to opt in, but I'm only going to opt in while like I believe all the things you told me continue to be true. And there's still a compelling vision for the future. And the second that equation feels off to me, I'm out. And, it can be really, really fickle in some cases, why people will bounce. And so because of that, I do believe we're entering the age of personalization. And there are some companies that are way ahead in terms of personalizing an experience for their employees. And like, when I say way ahead, I mean like so far ahead that they could achieve escape velocity at some point in time if they learn how to harness this and they continue to grow the way they're growing. And so those are kind of my two things on this one is like for retention, like, yes, lean into your edge. One of the two prevailing models I mentioned. And if, and personalization, like, if you're not thinking about it, then you're missing the boat and you're already behind.